True, it is, because everybody was looking at how Kevin Pietersen would shape up and how Corey Anderson would shape up. All eyes are on such players. So the top players right now are people like Yuvraj Singh, Kevin Pietersen, Corey Anderson. And now that Kevin Pietersen and Yuvraj Singh have been sold, we'll have to wait and see what will be the amount for Corey Anderson. We'll have to see how these top players are going to shape up. And as you had rightly mentioned, it was Kevin Pietersen who was actually not in the England team, and that is why perhaps his bid has gone high as of now, and all IPL authorities were and all the IPL owners were actually eyeing Kevin Pietersen and trying to see if they could rope him into their particular teams.
Right, Boria Majumdar, our consulting editor, is also joining us from Kolkata. Boria, already some very, very heavy action, some misunderstandings, and top dollar being shelled out for the top players. There's no surprises, really, that Yuvraj Singh and Kevin Pietersen are the two players who've demanded the top price. Yuvraj going for as much as 14 crores to RCB. It was clear that RCB wanted him one way or the other. And Kevin Pietersen being held by Delhi Daredevils using the Joker card for 9 crores.
Absolutely, this Joker card has brought in a new dimension to this auction, Shivani. There's no question about that. You've got to try and understand what the teams want. I mean, obviously, Yuvraj Singh is not only a player, he's a brand. He brings that extra, the brand value to the table, which I'm sure RCB would want to utilize. Kevin Pietersen, because he's not part of the England team anymore, he's available for the whole season, so he's not part of the team, so he doesn't have to go back midway like he had to last time. So 9 crores is perhaps a fair value. Virender Sehwag for 3.2, that's perhaps a good buy, because I can tell you, I was having a chat with Virender Sehwag day before yesterday, and a longish chat, and Virender Sehwag is actually looking at the IPL to make a comeback to the Indian team. He said the one thing that he's doing differently is weight training. He's actually putting in a lot into his training. He's doing weight training, which he's never done. So he also wants to prove and make a comeback to this Indian side before the World Cup. So 3.2 crores for Virender Sehwag is actually a very good price, come to think of it, because he can still win you matches. I mean, if you just do ROI, return on investment, and if a 3.2 crore buy gets you 3 matches or wins you 2 matches, it's important. So all of these things, Kevin Pietersen going for 9 crores is a significant amount of money to be shelled. But having said that, you've got him for the full season. So getting him for the full season, I think, is worth it.
Absolutely. Being booted out from the English team has not turned out too badly. He has become an even hotter property in the English Premier League. And Boria, another player you know very well, David Warner, going to Sunrisers Hyderabad for 5.5 crores. And I think that's a really good buy for Sunrisers.
Yeah, in fact, about 5 minutes back, I was on the phone with David Warner.
And he's
he's up with... he's up in South Africa. First things first, he's up in South Africa, which is 2.5, 3 hours behind. So he's actually waiting. In fact, he was asking me, can we get a live feed? I said, I don't know if you'll get a live feed in South Africa. But 5.5 crores for David Warner, it's a big buy. Big buy, and he's again one person alone capable of winning them matches. VVS Lakshman there taking the call perhaps. It's a big buy. David Warner in tremendous form. If you see the recently concluded Ashes, significant amount of money, but a really, really good buy. Really, really good buy for Sunrisers for 5.5.
Right, and his Australia teammate Mitchell Johnson is going to be up for grabs anytime soon. There's bidding going on for him, and it's already reached as high as 6.5 crores. So Mitchell Johnson, even though he's, on the other side of 30, he's going to get top dollar in the IPL auctions. He's in superb form right now, playing extremely well for Australia in the recent series. So Mitchell Johnson's form is going to earn him a lot of good money. Overall, 8 players, Boria, going under the hammer in the first round, top 8 players, out of which we've already seen Yuvraj Singh going for 14 crores to RCB, Kevin Pietersen being held back by Delhi using the Joker card for 9 crores. Mahela Jayawardene, though, went unsold. Do you find that surprising?
I do find it surprising. I actually do find it surprising, because he alone can win you matches, but perhaps not that explosive content and not the brand value. Think of a Kevin Pietersen, think of a Mahela Jayawardene, that X factor, which IPL is not only about cricketing ability. IPL is also about the brand value. Can he sort of, stand out in an advertisement hoarding? Can he help you build a fan base? Especially in this season where I'm sure corruption will have a cloud. So every franchise owner is sort of under the pressure that will this season hold up. So they will want players who can actually stand up and bring fans to the table. Mahela, I don't think, has that brand value which Kevin Pietersen has. So yes, you will find a few surprises. You will find a few surprises. But Kevin Pietersen for 9 crores, I think, is a good buy. Because of the fact that he will continue to play the whole season. That is the single biggest factor.
Right.
And the fact that Yuvraj Singh is out of favor with the Indian team in the one-day format and in the test match format. Once again, he's going to concentrate on the IPL to try and make a comeback into the Indian team. A good buy, a very good buy, because he brings that brand element. Sehwag, I think, is an excellent buy. As an excellent buy at 3.2 crores. I mean, if you see current form, he's not in form. So is Yuvraj. I mean, both of them have not been in form. But the fact of the matter is, for 3 crores, you get a Virender Sehwag, who still has the fire in his belly to make a comeback into the Indian team. He wins you 3 games. He's got his money's worth. So 3.2 crores for Kings 11 Punjab, and Sehwag will bring that added element. The fan base to Kings 11 Punjab. I think he's an excellent buy for 3.2 crores.
Absolutely. Delhi will be very envious right now. Punjab buying Virender Sehwag. But if only Delhi had known what was to happen to Kevin Pietersen, perhaps they would have retained him. They chose not to retain Kevin Pietersen, which was a shocker for everybody. But as Boria was mentioning, the fact that he's now available for a full season turning out to be the big difference for him. My Mail Today colleague Virender Bose is joining us over the phone line from Bangalore as well. Virender, no surprises really. Yuvraj and Kevin Pietersen becoming the hottest properties in the first round of the auctions. 14 crores is a very good price for Yuvraj Singh. He'll be extremely happy. Did it seem like RCB had set out a strategy that yes, we have to get Yuvraj at any price?
Yeah, well, see, initially it looked like RCB almost had him at 10 crores, That is when the auction was almost closed on him. Then suddenly it was pointed that KKR was also putting it up for him, and then the auction was started again on him, and then it was between KKR and RCB. And that is when RCB finally went ahead and stopped at 14 crores, and that is when they got him. So it was pretty clear looking at Vijay Mallya that he was pretty disappointed when it was initially called off at 10 crores and then restarted. He felt that he had him, and then when he saw that KKR is coming back again, so that's when he decided that no, I got to go and get him at any cost.
Absolutely, and that cost has turned out to be 14 crores. What's the outlook on Sehwag, if I can ask you? What was the feeling amongst the teams before the auction started for Sehwag? 3.2 is the price he's commanded in the end, going to Punjab. That's a very, very good price for Virender Sehwag, even if there are questions over his form.
You constantly on the channel. Why don't I get them to call you?
See, to be very honest, it could have been even worse. It was pretty embarrassing because after the auction brought his name up at 2 crores, nobody was even going in for the bid, and that is when suddenly Preeti Zinta put her hand up at 2 crores, and that is when finally the amount started rolling. And to be very honest, the sources in the Delhi Daredevil team had already made it very clear that they were not really intent on going overboard with Virender Sehwag. I mean, to be fair, one of the management people had also gone on record and said that something similar happened with Saurav Ganguly when KKR didn't retain him. So He said he was pretty much ready for the whiplash from the fans, but after all, it's a team that needs to win.
Absolutely. Virender Sehwag, in the end, as Boria was mentioning, he has a fire in his belly. He's looking at this IPL to make a statement and come back into the Indian cricket team as well. Will he be able to do that for Punjab? We'll have to wait and see. The latest news coming in, the last man to go under the hammer in the first round, Mitchell Johnson, has also been bought by Punjab for a good price of 6.5 crores. So that brings to an end the first round of the IPL auctions. We'll keep getting you regular updates. Boria, Pratibha and Bardojo, thanks a lot for joining us. Pia, back to you.
Thank you, Shivani, and all our guests this morning. As Shivani mentioned, there's been a break following the first round of the auctions.